everybody. Another year is through. Can you believe it? We've been inside for so long now. Nothing else to do. What are we gonna do? We're gonna look at some memes. It's meme time, it's meme time. Gather all your friends, it's meme time. It's meme time, it's meme time. The only cure for sadness. Please, memes, please save us from the end of this year. Please make it all better. Please make the sadness go away. Make it go bye-bye. And please make... What are you doing? I'm just looking at memes. Why? Are you looking at memes unsecured on the internet? I mean... Are you not browsing safely? Yeah. What do you mean, though? Come on. Get up. No, you don't deserve them anymore. No, it's my audience now. No, get out of here. Go. Oh. Okay. Oh my god, can you believe that guy was browsing the internet without using a VPN, like NordVPN? What an absolute stinky head. NordVPN is only the best VPN on the planet, and it's so easy to use. You just sign up and it's one click and you're browsing the internet safely and hiding your IP from all those stinkers online. You can use it on so many devices as well. You can use it on your desktop. You can use it on your phone. You can use it on your laptop. Why wouldn't you use it? Oh, well, I don't know if I need a VPN because blah, blah. Have you ever tried to watch something online and then you realize it's not available in your country or your area? There's no hot singles in your area to watch? That's what a VPN can help you do. You can then go online, click the VPN, say that you're in America, hide your IP address, and then you can watch all the shows that are on other platforms in other countries. It's so easy. Why are you not doing it already? In all seriousness, I actually use NordVPN all the bloody time. I know this is a sponsor thing and everything, but I really genuinely do use it because there's so many times when I want to watch something that people recommend and I can't watch it because it's only available in America or only available in Asia or something like that. And then using a VPN like Nord helps me to just go online, click America. I get to go on the internet safely then. It helped so much when I got stranded in America with COVID because I was sitting there and I wanted to watch shows with Evelyn. And then when we figured out what we wanted to watch, we couldn't watch it at the same time because I was in America, she was in the UK. The show wasn't available in both places. So NordVPN to the rescue. And then we both got to watch the same show at the same time and it stopped me from becoming miserable. Not only that, I've used it a ton of times as well for games. Sometimes games come out at different times in different locations. So I've used NordVPN to be able to play the game earlier here in Europe because it's out in America. Look, it's just a really handy thing to have, and I love NordVPN. If you go to nordvpn.com/jacksepticeye, you get a 2-year plan plus a bonus gift, huge discount. I'm just trying to keep you safe, okay? I care about you. You're my audience. I want you to go out there and be safe and secure, okay? You got that? You feeling safe? Come here. Give me a hug. Give me a hug. Come on. NordVPN is like a hug for your IP. Anyway, thank you, Nord, for sponsoring this video. Click the link in the description. All the information will be down there. Thank you. A family reunion. It's good to be home. It sure is, man. So, I know a lot of the memes on this one, a lot of the memes in this episode are going to be talking about the fact that I had COVID, which I never thought I would get. And I think that that's kind of the consensus going around with a lot of people is that you never think you can be as safe as you want and you can do everything in your power to try and like mitigate it happening. But I never ever thought that I would get it. And now I'm like, why did I ever think that? It's so highly infectious and it's everywhere right now that a lot of people are going to get it. But yes, I got it. I got over it. I'm back home. For anyone who doesn't know, who wasn't keeping up with anything that was going on, I got it when I was in America. I got it the very last day that I was there. Well, I didn't get it the last day I was there, but I started showing symptoms the last day I was there. And we had to get tested for flying home anyway. And then it came back positive. And then I had to stay an extra like 7 to 8 days in LA in this tiny ass little hotel room all on my own. And I'm surprised I didn't go nuts, but I kind of did a little bit, trying to get over it, and I went big on TikTok, and it was a weird time, but I I have never felt better coming home from a trip than I did after this one, because it was just awful. It got worse than I like showed online. A lot of the stuff that I was showing online was like, yeah, I'm getting better and fever's gone and those things, but there was a couple of times where I was like, oh my god, this is like awful. This is the worst thing ever. And then having like asthma, and I was kind of worried about it, and because I have an underlying health condition, I qualified for an antibody infusion, so a nurse had to come to my hotel room with an IV bag with antibodies in it and inject it into my arm. And apparently those are really hard to get and really rare, and I was very, very lucky to be able to get it, and I feel so fortunate that I was, because I feel like that helped me a lot. And not everyone who gets COVID is fortunate enough to be able to get those antibodies like injected through IV. I have a whole IV story as well that maybe I'll tell in a different video, but oh, it was bad. But yeah, it's so good to be back home. I missed BB and Evelyn so much. But I did it. I'm back. We passed it and things are better now, but yeah, it really, really sucked. Not only that, but we got back and I was like, okay, can finally relax. Like the stresses of Thankmas are over, getting past COVID is over, and then I got home and now I have horrible stomach issues and I feel like I need to throw up like all the time. So it's just one thing after another, you know. It's a hard end of the year, but we'll get through it. This man really does speak nothing but facts. Having COVID really sucks, but you know what's worse? Listening to people talk about NFTs. Oh my god, the amount of NFT talk that goes on online right now. Look, all I'll say is that crypto stuff is probably the future. Like the way things are going, everything's getting more digital and everything's getting more advanced, and there's all these different things going on that crypto stuff probably is going to stay around, and it probably is going to be the future of economy and things like that, and NFTs are a part of that, but right now it just absolutely sucks to listen to. The amount of people who are doing like try to get rich quick stuff, the amount of it that are just scams, the amount of it are people are like stealing artwork and just reselling it as an NFT and they don't even own it. There's a lot of horrible shit around it that I'm just like, I don't want to listen to it right now. Maybe in like 5 years when stuff gets better, or 10 years, or who knows when. It'll probably get better. There's probably a best use case for an NFT. There's probably a version of it that exists that's probably going to be decent and does something cool. But right now, I don't think we're living in that. I feel like it's a lot of... just feels like a lot of people who are trying to make a lot of money really quickly talking about it. I'm like... that's probably all it's ever going to be, but I just don't like listening to it. It just sounds like a bunch of douchebags. And the amount of NFT offers I've gotten, oh, hundreds upon hundreds of people being like, we can do this, we can do that, we can sell this, we can sell that. Oh my god, it's too much. I don't care. How did they move, or why did they move exactly in sync? Oh my god, that's weird. That's so similar. It's perfectly timed. What is happening? Like, watch that, but look in the middle of both of us so you can like get both in your peripheral vision. That's crazy. Is that from the same video at the same time? Or did you just manage to find two things that synced up really well? I don't know how you would have found that, but that's creepy. I feel like it's probably because Sean watched Mark a lot back then. Like, religiously. Maybe his movements were just absorbed. No. Like, yes, I did watch Mark videos back before I started my channel. But it was not this version of Mark. It was like the short-haired, like 30k to 50k subs version, and then I started my channel. We were both heavily doing YouTube back then. I didn't have time to watch YouTube back then. I made this at like 2 a.m. and I can't stop giggling at it. Worms exist. Baby birds. Oh, that was the last TikTok I did in that room. I needed to have some like closure on it, leaving that space. It was so weird to be in one room for 7 days and not leave at all. I went a little bit insane. Mark the Worm. Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier. Jack the Bird, press that like button like a boss. Me? Well, of course your face is going to be like that because you made up a weird scenario. What are these comments? What is going on? Are we like back in 2016 again? Those are the types of comments that we would see all the time back then. It's so weird. Did I travel back in time when I was stuck in that hotel room? And now that I'm back out of it, everything's just reverted? Are we gonna see something about Septiplier soon? Oh God, please no. Our boy is making it big in the local paper and they even left out the William. No. Yeah, Sean McLaughlin. Wow. Awfully YouTubers delight as charity event raises over $7 million. Hell yeah. Let's go Thankmas, baby. Thankmas still open, by the way. We're up to 7.6 million raised now. It's a shame it didn't get to the 10 million. I don't think we're gonna be able to hit the 10 million before the end of the year. Because it's now. But we gave it a really good effort. I put my absolute blood, sweat, tears, and soul into that event, trying to make it like as big as possible and trying to get as much money raised as possible. And it's a shame that some of the people who said that they were going to help out, I reached out to so many other YouTubers and a bunch of them said yes and that they would help out. And then when the day came, they didn't do anything for it, which it bums me out. I don't want to like say names and drag people's names and throw them under the bus or anything like that, because I get that people get busy and everything and people commit to things without fully realizing what they're committing to and things like that. But it did kind of bum me out to see that not everyone came through, because I really feel like we could have raised the $10 million then. There was a couple of like really big heavy hitters that we could have hit 10 million with, but it is what it is. We raised 7.6 million, which is way beyond what we did last year. And I'm incredibly proud of it. And I'm so thankful for the community for coming together with that. And everybody who did help out, thank you so much. There's so many streamers who did streams for it. And there's so many people who donated to it. And so many other YouTubers who donated big money to it as well. And I'm so incredibly grateful. If you want to check out who, you can see like top donors down here on the website. Some of the biggest donations that came through. You can see the top fundraising events that happened. You can see the top teams. It's incredible. Thank you guys so much. I'm so unbelievably proud of the event. And I can't wait for next year's. They couldn't pick a better picture though. I know, right? Like, what is this? There's so many pictures of me smiling or like thumbnails with my face smiling in them. You couldn't have just cropped that. It's a good article though. I like it. I like that they have information about a news story in there. It's not just about, like, normally these things, they start and it's like, McLaughlin, who, oh, wait. It's doing that thing, but whatever. Normally there's a bunch of information in it that's not relevant to what you're talking about, but I'm glad that at least it's getting some sort of exposure. It's crazy. Do you know what really pissed me off? Was that there was so many articles and, like, the people online talking about it, and so many versions of people talking about me getting COVID, and then saying that I exposed all of the OTV members to it, and that, oh, I exposed all these streamers to COVID while I was in LA. And that was the narrative that was running with it. And one of the lines was like, we're not sure how serious McLaughlin was taking the pandemic. I'm like, what? I took it incredibly seriously all the time. And I like advocated for like vaccines and being safe and sanitizing and everything all the time. Like, we don't know, so assume the worst kind of journalism. And I hate that. And there was nothing got to do with like, we hope him a good recovery or like his well-being. It was all about like who I gave it to. And then there was almost no articles around Thankmas and how much money it raised, and the same people not like changing things around. It was all like this doom journalism all the time, because that shit hits better and the headlines are tastier and spicier and everybody just loves to feed off drama and gossip, instead of just being like, no, we did a great thing as the community all together and raised over $7 million. 7.5. Closer to $8 million than 7 at this point. But no, they're just doing it. Oh, it pisses me off. Sorry. I'd like sit there with COVID, sitting in my hotel room, away from family, not knowing if I was going to make it back for Christmas, just miserable. And then having to read articles like that. I mean, I didn't have to read them, I could have avoided them, but just seeing that kind of stuff be written was just so shitty. And it's not even just because it was written about me and, oh, boo-hoo, I'm stuck in a room. Like, it was safer to do that, and I would have gladly missed Christmas if it meant keeping people safe. I don't know, it's just the idea of that kind of journalism goes around all the time, and that articles like that are written about people constantly. And it just goes to show that the amount of good stuff that people are probably doing in the world that goes overlooked because it's not as clickbaity. I hate that. Say no to Nestle. Wait, Nescafe is Nestle? Oh God. You can't defeat me. Anyone who hates Nestle, I know, but he can. I don't know if Top of the Morning can take on Nescafe. Nescafe is pretty massive. But yeah, fuck Nestle. Anyone who hates Nestle, that's a funny way of saying everyone. Yeah, maybe it's not that hot a take. But something I thought would be fun to do, I didn't realize how much I'd been recording already, but I wanted to go over some of the memes while I was gone, but I also wanted to do, since it's the end of the year, I thought it'd be fun if we went over like the top memes of this year, since you can go to this year and go over those and see what kind of, maybe do like a little Reddit recap kind of thing of this year, because I was stuck in LA and I didn't get time and now I'm home and I'm kind of still sick. I didn't really get time to do a nostalgia week this time, and it just wasn't even on my radar to do it. I wasn't able to think. There's so much that I was supposed to plan at the end of this year and I just didn't get it done, and I had like obligations that I was supposed to get done and everything, so it's a bit of a mess. So I thought we'd like celebrate maybe the biggest memes that weren't up on the subreddit this year. The 3 stages of man. Oh, you gotta read it this way though. November, January, yeah. Good luck, America. What the fuck, America? Congrats, America. So, wow, one of these got 380k likes? Twitter's easy. Those are different times back then. It was only last year that everything seemed to be even more doom and gloom. Thankfully, the end of this year is a little bit better. We do still have COVID going around, and Omicron is kind of wreaking havoc right now. But the amount of people like dying from the virus seems to be staying low. Vaccines and boosters are rolling out. A lot of people seem to be getting those. So I think there's like a turning point happening. Hopefully, maybe. I don't want to say that and then jinx the whole year. And then everyone will come back next year and point to this video and be like, Jack should stop talking. So I randomly met Sean in London. Oh, this is the second biggest post of the year? That's cool. Yeah, I remember this. We were walking around London. We took a weekend away, me and Evelyn, just to kind of like hang out and do stuff. And it was really fun. I met this guy walking down the street and he was absolutely delightful. Be better, YouTube. This is my video. Yes. I happen to swear in it. Okay. And because of that, I'm going to set it to not for children. Sounds good to me. So it's not meant for children and I can swear in it. Demonetized for swearing in a kid's video. I don't really get the rules anymore. I don't get the amount of you're allowed to do. I don't get what's allowed, what's not allowed. Clearly my channel is not for kids. It's never been for kids. That's just, that's more of a, if you've never watched Jacksepticeye kind of perception of the channel, but it's never ever been like that. And anybody who actually watches the channel knows that. But it seems like YouTube didn't care for a while and kind of set my channel for kids. I think it might still be set for kids because I think it's when you hit like subscribe and then the notification bell and then to receive notifications, isn't there a thing that tells you like you can't do this on channels deemed for kids? And that was on my channel for a while and I'm like, what about my channel is for kids? I swear constantly. I talk about like bigger things than kids can even understand. A lot of the games I play aren't even for kids. Makes no sense. But channels that don't swear and are very kid friendly get way more views and recommendeds. So what do we want? Do we want more views or to stay true to ourselves? I think we all know the answer to that. More views! More money! Nah, fuck it. It's not me. I don't care. So I drew a Sean. This took me about 8 hours and I would die if he saw it. That sounds bad now. It sounds like a really horrible thing if I look at your artwork. But this is very, very good. And the fact that you did that in 8 hours is incredible. Thank you. I love the sparks. I had an obsession with putting these types of sparks in thumbnails for a while. Almost this exact type of ember. I don't know if you just did this because it looks cool or because you picked up on the thumbnail thing. Either way, I love it. If you look at the Resident Evil 7 thumbnails, go back and look at that playlist right now. I think every single thumbnail has this in it. And I think some of them have scan lines in it as well because I was just obsessed with those effects and I thought they looked cool. Found this and I love it. The number of kids who identify as LGBT, especially trans and bisexual, has absolutely skyrocketed. If you think this is a natural or organic development, you're deluded. The media, Hollywood, and the school system actively recruit children into the LGBT ranks. I know what you're thinking. What absolute nonsense garbage. And I thought the exact same thing. So I tweeted back, it's called progress. People are more comfortable being who they truly are as society heads in the right direction. Which is not even that big a take. And not even that like, oh, got him. It's just pure, absolute common sense. And this is clearly bait. But it was just so dumb that I had to say something about it. I feel like we live in this age now where you go back and you watch certain TV shows. Like there's a couple of, I've been watching Friends again recently, and there's a couple of jokes in it and a couple of things in it where I'm like, man, we wouldn't do that today because society has changed so much. And that we're moving in this direction that people are way more comfortable being themselves and more open about it. And it's not, I mean, I already said it in the tweet, but it's not just that, oh, it's cool to be gay or bisexual or trans or anything like that. It's just that people are able to do it so much more now and be themselves without fear of repercussions as much as back in the day. I remember growing up in the 90s and it was just so different. I'm so glad that we're headed in that direction. People can be themselves so much more easily than ever before, and we still have so long to go. There's still such a massive way to go in regards to making it more normalized, but I'm so glad that we have progressed in certain aspects. My philosophy has always been that if you are a certain way in your life and you want to live that way to the fullest, you might as well do that and have other people say shit about you, because what's the alternative? Is that you hide that version of yourself, you don't get to be yourself, you become miserable because of it, and people are going to say shit to you anyway. So you might as well just be yourself and live your life and just move on. Like these shitheads will always come, but they will always fall apart and disappear. But you being yourself will always make the world a better place. There's a really good Brooklyn Nine-Nine quote. Every time someone steps up and says who they are, the world becomes a better, more interesting place. That sentence really stuck with me because that's kind of how I've always thought, but could never really... I didn't know how to articulate it in such a succinct way, and I think that that absolutely holds true. Nothing to see here, just saying that we are here for you and we love you, Jack. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, 11 months ago. Yeah, this is after my father had passed, so that's really sweet. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. Maybe we'll do like a little recap of the year outside of this as well, like an extra video, just to kind of... I know, I feel like a lot happened this year that I want to talk about, so maybe. This was a big one because I asked for it. Man, remember when I had a man bun? Again? It feels like forever ago that I actually had that and I shaved again, so... When will the man bun be back? We don't know. 2014. I don't really like anime. 2021. I fucking love anime. I feel like I was just lying to myself, you know? Anime's so cool now. Ever watched, like, Jujutsu Kaisen? Or the earlier seasons of Attack on Titan? I don't really like the newest season. And I'm a manga reader for Attack on Titan. So, my opinion matters more than you anime onlys. Sorry, it's just facts. This one, Sean and Felix were sitting right behind Jacksepticeye and PewDiePie. They didn't even notice. That's a really good one. I like that. That was a fun video to do. Back when we had to wear masks indoors, like it wasn't like an option, it was absolutely mandatory to do. 3 cuties in one picture. Oh, my 2 boys watching TV together the other day. Such a nice picture. I didn't even know she took it either until afterwards. So nice. BB's so cute. He's so delightful. Old house too. We moved this year as well. Couples. Strong women, strong women, strong women. Have you ever farted and it sounded like your butthole was asking you a question? Oh, it still makes me laugh. The amount of times, whenever I tweet something like this, it always starts with me turning to Evelyn and going, babe, I have a banger tweet right now. And she's just like, okay. And then I say it to her. And she kind of like giggles, and then I reword it, and then she laughs more, and then I'm like, okay, that's the version. I like workshop my tweets to Evelyn and tell her my jokes, and then they end up like this. So for all of you being like, Jack, why did you tweet this? Just know that Evelyn has to go through that before any of you do. She's the true hero here. Of course, there was the time 8 months ago when Google said that I was Corb's husband. That was a moment in time. So mad I didn't grow up with this, but at least I joined the journey. That's a different take on this sort of meme. Normally it's like, so glad I grew up with this, but also glad that I still watch this or something like that. But yeah, there's the amount of people who come in like now this year or last year, and there's so many jokes and memes and a lot of people saying like, I don't really get the Happy Wheels era, or I don't get the Skate 3 or Turbo Dismount kind of stuff, or the Prop Hunt era, that they kind of wish they did because they feel like they missed out on a bunch of stuff. It definitely was a different period in existence for YouTube. I feel like maybe it's just because I've gone through it, but I feel like this period and this like how YouTubers like came about back then feels so much different than now. It feels like when you hear about a YouTuber now, they just get like 30 million views a video and suddenly they're massive and they're everywhere and there's so many people talking about them, and it's just, it feels like too much too quick. There's no like growth to it anymore. Just kind of feels like people absolutely explode, and everyone who does explode has like editors and producers and they have whole teams behind them, and it just feels different. I feel like there's very few YouTubers who are like the person in their bedroom because they're bored. And there's so many people who do it now that everyone knows that it can become a job. Like when I started, I didn't know it could become a job. That wasn't like the intention ever. Now it feels like a lot of people who do it, there's a lot of people who like do it to become a job, and they do, and that's great. I'm so glad that so many people are doing it. It's just, it feels very different now. It feels a lot more like curated than organic. But again, maybe that's just old boomer me having gone through this and seeing like the younger generation of it. Actually, that's not true. There are a few younger YouTubers now coming up, like Tommy, Tubbo, Ranboo, all of those guys who are blowing up, and they're just doing it for fun and has turned into a job. You know what? Screw what I'm saying. I'm glad that I proved myself wrong here. I don't know, just maybe the vibe on YouTube as a whole, like the actual platform itself feels very different. Like with, back then there was no copyright and like demonetization and those types of things. They didn't exist. It was just like upload wherever you want, and everything that you uploaded went to your subscribers, and there was no like ringing of bells and algorithms hiding videos from subscribers because they haven't watched you in a week kind of thing. So it just felt very different back then than it does now. And I'm sure the people that I mentioned growing up now, once they get to like 8-9 years doing this, that something else will have changed and the new upcoming generation will be completely different. They'll be like, man, this didn't exist when I was doing it and back in my day kind of thing. Press F to pay respects. This is because I moved, I think. 8 months ago, did I move by then? April? Yeah. The whiteboard disappeared from behind me, and then everyone was freaking out that the change was too much. Rip in peace, whiteboard. I like this one as well, not just because of the absolutely amazing joke that got set up in this set of tweets, but also having this here shows that, like, yeah, we got to meet so many cool people this year as well. Well, kind of last year, but really getting to know them this year and meeting Toast and them. And I got to meet them in person, finally. And they were delightful. And it was so nice to hang out with them. So I like that. I like these memes that kind of like capture moments in time. Stuff like this is a big meme, but it doesn't really capture a moment in time for the year. Oh yeah, Nicola made this wonderful sprite. And then we asked, we paid them to use it as a U2's figure, which everybody got then, which is the Gaelic Gladiator one. That was so cool. I want to do more stuff with U2's, and I think we are. I just don't know what to do. I don't know what type of, like, because it's easy to just do another version of me, but I want it to be cool. I want it to be something worth buying. I don't want to just pump out a figure and then go like, hey, buy it, please. I want to, like, this one I really loved because it was just so cool. The big bell, the Gaelic Gladiator was such like it felt like a character from an anime or a show or something. It was cool. Anyway, I'm gonna leave this video here because I've just been recording for too long and I don't want the video to get too long either, but yeah, maybe I'll do a video kind of recounting the year and summing up our 2021 because there was a lot of good stuff and some not so good stuff, and I feel like it's just kind of nice to get closure on a year every year doing one of those videos. And normally I go into like the next year saying, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that, and next year's going to be better. And then was it last year or the year before where I was like, I don't care, I just want to exist next year kind of thing. I can't remember. We'll go over it in that. But thank you guys for watching this one. I really appreciate it.